So we're dealing with the economy, we're dealing with the oil spill, and we've dealt with other hurricanes during this time frame. And why I'm saying that is I think other gaming jurisdictions, I know Las Vegas and Atlantic City, the other two that follow us, you know, they've not had the tragedies as we've had. And with all of the tragedies, we have always responded. And that shows you, I think, or shows us the maturity of our gaming jurisdictions for these developers that want to come back to Mississippi and continue to do business. Now we have all of that, and now we've got our current state of affairs. We've got about 29 casinos. We're about a $2.5 billion market. We're doing okay compared to the rest of the nation. But the biggest thing that on my watch, we've done extremely well. But as far as the future, what is going to happen, and Mississippi is going to be a part of this, is the expansion of gaming throughout this country. Back in the good old days, I mean, you could count on your hand. Las Vegas, Atlantic City, Louisiana came in the early 90s. It was just a handful. Every state has gaming now. And so these territories, these regions where Tunica would market to up in the Northwest, you're looking at Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania opened up 2 or 3 years ago. They are right now at the 3rd largest gaming jurisdiction with about, I think, a 50% tax rate, pretty close. You've got Ohio opening up this year with limited license. They had 4 casinos that paid $1 billion just to get into the market. Just paid to the state $1 billion. And then on top of it, a 50% tax rate. You know, these are bold moves that these states are turning to because of these shortfalls in revenue. And I could go on. You've got West Virginia, you've got Maryland. And more importantly, I think, my point is with Louisiana, you got Alabama next to us that's looking at all that bingo revenue that's just taking it out of the state that play on our Gulf Coast and also in Tunica. But Florida, you know, Florida is on the verge of really getting commercial gaming. And if that really takes effect, then I think we're going to see Mississippi being effective. And I say all that with the expansion of gaming is that I think Mississippi has got to come up, look ahead, be creative, or this industry has to be, and the leaders in these communities, because we cannot exist on bringing people to play blackjack anymore. You know, the days of gaming, people wanting to get in their car to come game, is over. You know, MGM this past year in Las Vegas has realized that more of their revenue comes from non-gaming revenue than it does from their gaming. You know, unprecedented. And I think that's what we've got to look at. We've always had an apparatus, an infrastructure in gaming that we brought people to the Gulf Coast to view the Gulf Coast. We've got people in Tunica looking at what's in Tunica, the blues trails and all the historical and the Delta. And we brought people in. 80% of that market in Tunica is outside. 75% of the market on the Gulf Coast is from export. So we're not playing on the backs of our citizens, we're bringing it in. But now these people, instead of getting in their car or on a flight coming to gamble on the Gulf Coast or to Tunica, you know, they've got options in their backyard. That's just like here, you know. I mean, if you got something in your backyard, you're not going to drive 2 or 3 hours to go. That being said, we have got to come up with some type of an idea, concept, to get people not to come to this state to gamble. We're not going to make it. We've got to have the convention centers, we've got to have the tourist attraction to bring it up to a first-class destination. People have always come here for that. We've always kept it family-friendly. The other thing I'd like to say as far as the future is the development. We're still doing well in development. We've got 10 approved sites down on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. In addition, we just approved the Margaritaville with Jimmy Buffett. That was very, very exciting to have Jimmy Buffett to come down. And going back to what I just said a few minutes ago, it's imperative that we have something such as a Jimmy Buffett brand that Margaritaville is what sold us about putting that casino in. I'd just like to let folks know what's coming down the line is the internet gambling. You hear about it, you hear about it. I've been talking about it for 10 years that it's going to come someday. It's going to come, and it's going to be here on my next person's shift or their watch with internet gambling. And I wish I were here to see it because I'm really reluctant about it being placed in our state. And I hope that's our policy from this point forward.